de favela. Ah, bailão é baile de favela.
Yes.
Yes.
You have coins, stranger? With Orzammar closed off, old Tegrin can give you a discount. Fine weapon and arms, dwarven made. There's two things I'm here for. Travel or trade. Understand?
I see enemies ahead.
Them all quickly, shall we?
Logate sent his response.
Are we descending into the underground?
I have never heard of a thing called a Kunari.
Then you have not been listening. We did not row to shore last year. We have been about for centuries.
I have listened. I have done little else, in fact. And yet I do not remember anyone mentioning such a Kunari in all my years in the village.
Relying on humans as a source of education is a fool's errand.
They are rather ignorant, aren't they? And feeble, at the best of times.
We have creatures on Parvolan that are similar. The humans call them monkeys. They are dull, cowardly vermin. They cry out shrilly when threatened and throw their own feces.
That is an excellent comparison. I wonder if they're related.
Possibly.
Oh,
You wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well-armed to notice a lowly merchant. It's not your business, but like my father, I was born on the surface. We never had a caste to leave. The Assembly says we've turned our back on the stone, but they still use the goods we bring. Hypocrites. Maybe it'll change by the time my children are grown. Twice a year, I'm confined to a trade stall in the Commons, but I see enough. It's very closed in. My grandfather says I've lost my stone sense. I was born topside. I don't remember having it. Best of luck to you.
I demand an audience. King Loghain will not suffer the delay of his appointed messenger.
Vieta! This land is held in trust for the sovereign Dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled. You're the exile. Aye. Despite your brother Balin's best efforts, sorrow finished what your kinslaying started. Your father is dead.
Kinslayer? Oh, you're not getting in. Losing two sons, one to murder and one to exile, who can blame him for seeking peace among the ancestors?
The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
What? He's a traitor! And a kinslayer! You said it yourself. In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden! You'll hear of this. King Loghain will see you quartered.
You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find.
Fair journeys, Warden.
If there is...
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Branka, all
is that they
Orzammar
possess
will
a
know your
remarkable
name.
facility for
Mother,
carving
I
stone.
don't want to be like her.
Don't say that. Not to me, not to anyone. Now get back to the fort.
For the love of Aragon.
So are all of your kind similarly powerful, Qunari?
I am not here to satisfy your curiosity, creature.
That is true. I suppose I sounded like a human chattering away. I apologize.
No, it is I who should apologize. You are no human. You are a vastly superior construct.
That's kind of the Qunari to say. If all your people are like you, it's a wonder you haven't crushed the humans under your heel.
I have wondered the same thing.
One just needs to look at them. They're so...
Small.
Exactly.
You and I, we are of the same mind, Kadan.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
Not speak that way about the man who should be king! I won't have fighting in the Commons, especially in front of outsiders. I find that sort of fool, I'll have him in the Legion. Exile, you were not to show your face here again. I have enough crime to deal with. I shouldn't have to dump you back in the deep roads. That's right. You found pity topside. The Warden should have better sense when choosing allies. Surfacers and their cloud-addled heads. Fine, oh illustrious Grey Warden. What do you want? Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the Assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here. They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate. Yes, you should.
I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? I can move aside. I don't have much to bring them. My name is Vilda, widow of Turok of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul. It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them. How? There is no way except to brave the Deep Roads yourself. A warden. So you could do it. Only wardens face the Deep Roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers. Please, find me as soon as you return.
I do not even want to think from what manner.
Maker's blessing on you, brother. The Maker brought forth this world and every creature in it. He chose a human woman as his prophet and bride, but he loves all races. I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light.
Even in the very bowels of the earth, we hear no end of this chant.
And that is something to rejoice in, good sister. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar. there is resistance. It's obvious the world wasn't created by the mortal souls who dwelt within it. But Orzammar persists in worshipping its paragons and forefathers instead of the Maker.
Let them worship whatever they like. The Khun is the only way to enlightenment. False philosophy. This chantry encourages faith in an unknown god instead of understanding oneself.
Are you saying you will help? The Shaperate controls changes in Orzammar's structure and society. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting. Oh, I'd hoped you'd say that. I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder, guiding you always. Please let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
By the ancestors! You were exiled into the deep roads. How can you be standing here? I should hope so. I'd be quite hurt if you didn't recognize me. After all, under different circumstances, we might have been married. But you were supposed to be dead. How is it you live? Then I hope your return is a good omen. Since your father died, many have begun to wonder if it was Balin's hand behind Trian's death, not yours. Even your father believed that. It's why he appointed Lord Harrowmont as his heir. But enough Deshers support Balin to keep the Assembly in a deadlock. You can see how bad things have gotten. In his sleep, though many whisper those are only sweet words to hide the smell of poison, may the ancestors accept the king among their blessed number. A blight? Now? But our warriors are killing each other in the streets. Who will lead the battle? How will we survive? He still lives in the king's quarters, pretending your father never repudiated him. He seems to think if he's close to the throne long enough, we'll forget he has no right to claim it. He wouldn't dare say so, but the common folk do. Not enough of them, I say. Exactly half the Assembly still supports Balin, and their loyalty runs deep. And I'm sure some curse their decision to exile you. But House Iduken stands behind Balin still, and they have stricken your name. I am glad to see you're safe. If you seek Lord Harrowmont's support, talk to Dulin Ferender. You'll find him in Harrowmont's estate. Tell him who you are, and I'm sure he can get you an audience. I should return home until the streets become safe again.
Excuse me, Oh, I actually was talking to your companions, or are you from the surface too? Oh, wonderful! I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle? I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study. I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing. What do you mean? Oh, you're looking for payment. My father's shop refines lyrium for smithing. If you help me, I'm sure I could get you some. That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcast. Tell them I've already begun reading the Teventer Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child? Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
I knew I should have stuck to common nugs. Now I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them the way they skitter. No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down. Good on you, stranger. Only need one to turn this around.
The social
I did not
strata
expect to
quickly
see you
makes
again.
itself evident no
I'm
matter
afraid
where one goes.
My lord, you're back. They told me you were dead. I'm flattered you remember, my lord. Perhaps you also remember our night of passion, the evening of your first commission? Or the son we created, who now has his birthright stripped from him because you got yourself exiled. I've had to care for him myself, nurse him, clothe him. I can't work. No one wants to lie with a woman who's used up her fertility on some castless brat. How could you do this to us? Then help us. Convince your family to take you back, or at least declare you honorably dead and acknowledge your son. Please, think about what his life will be otherwise. Thank you. I haven't had a solid meal in a week. Oh, one sovereign. Great. Very generous. It was nice knowing you. I have heard nothing from House Iduken. Please don't forget us, my lord. What could be more important than your son?
News of the hour! Lord Balin promises radical changes that will affect the ancient paradigm. Lord Haramont is a weak man, and he will be a weak
Yes, very nice. Where are the Darkspawn?
I heard you had returned to his exile. What insult do you mean by coming here? After what you did to Trian, you come to your only living brother for help? I have seen this treaty in the Shaper's libraries, but it is only the king it compels, and your father has unfortunately passed on. If you seek Balin's help, he can only give it from the throne, and only if no one stands in the way of his getting there. So you really have thrown your lot in with the surface. Very well. As long as you understand Orzammar is Balin's, I will allow you the chance to prove it. Haramont has been buying the votes of every Desher he can turn, but he is running out of promises. Recently, he offered the same estate to both Lady Dace and young Lord Helmy. He hopes the vote will pass before he has to pay up. I have the promissory notes, but they know of my loyalties to Balin. If you, on the other hand, brought them this evidence, they know you have little love for your brother and will believe you. Prove your loyalty, and perhaps you'll get the reunion you desire. Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmy's adventurous, likes to spend his time at tapsters in the Commons. Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
The Assembly is in session. Enter quiet.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the surface trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the Assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough! The Assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions. Stone forsaken. So it's true. The exile has returned, and we are to treat you as a respected guest. And for that, you earn my respect, more than as a member of your lost family name. If only the Assembly thought the same. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne. Troubling, but it will still seem distant compared to the empty throne. The Assembly is blind to all else. I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin or Lord Harrowmont, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. I only wish there was more I could do for you.
Lord Harrowmont sends his greetings, Exile. He was surprised to see you back here. That may be, and that is a terrible risk for the surface. But even if the world would end tomorrow, Lord Harrowmont cannot ignore Balin today. He cannot afford to trust anyone of unproven loyalties. If you wish to show you have no loyalty to Balin, then Balin is hosting a proving today. The Deshers take it very seriously, and unfortunately, that would be... Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Then I'm afraid your only choice is to wait until... If you change...
Lord Balin's impending marriage to a Catherine proves his dedication to change.
I hope you'll support Lord Harrowmont.
What do you want? Are you a messenger from some other Desher? Ah, such a noble profession. Cleaning up whatever darkspawn stragglers make it to the surface. You must be very proud. Well, this isn't exactly a surface broadsheet. Where did you get these? Never mind. It is true enough, but there's nothing I can do about it. This deal was made on behalf of our entire house. Only my father can revoke it. He is leading a deep roads expedition, trying to secure an ancient thaig. It's unlikely he'll be back before the election, but perhaps this vote is important enough for you to brave the tunnels to tell him? The Dace family would be in your debt. Thank you. He was searching an old Idukan site. He left me with this map, in case his expedition never returned. I'll give you a pass as well. Usually, no one is allowed past the front lines. Good luck.
Thief! Who would dare take from the memories? Warden, I'm outraged. A thief in the Shapered. What have we been reduced to? I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine! He's probably in the slums somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dust Town. They couldn't know the value.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume? Not that I could really help. I, don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research. I was looking for something about the Orton thaig. It was lost during the last Blight, and there aren't many records left. They were a noble house once, descended from the Paragon Orton, who composed the grand epic of the Seven Brothers and the Ortonic Symphony. My mother's family believes they were descended from Kalana Orton, who was training in Orzammar when the thaig fell. I'm even named for the house, Orta. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the thaig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads. A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the thaig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Balin and Lord Harrowmont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the thaig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king and Orzammar was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it firsthand. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of Memories. Your exile is written in the memories, Warden. I am sorry, but Orzammar cannot be your home, nor I your Shaper. We must all obey the Ancestors' rules. These are Harrowmont lands promised here. But these are not the deals we approved at the Shaperate. Where did you get these? If you wish, you can make your words as false as the documents you bear. Not entirely. There were 2 promised deals, but their terms differed significantly from what is presented here. It appears the scripter altered the dates and locations of the agreements to make them identical. The Gavorn family is a minor one. founded when a daughter of the Ferender house married down to a warrior caste man. Her brother died, leaving her family heirless. So the Assembly granted him a new family name and allowed him to adopt his daughter's children as heirs. Vartag Gavorn is on record asking the Assembly to bar Harrowmont from King Endrin's sick room. He's a vocal supporter of Prince Balin. I am the man to ask if you wish to access the memories of the ancestors. What is it you would know? That is an odd request. Have you grown so fond of the Surfacer's ways in your brief absence? I thought so. This is not the first time he's made this plea. My answer to Brother Burkle hasn't changed. So I ask you the same. On what basis would you have me insult the ancestors and overturn 2,000 years of tradition? What sort of charities do you mean? I am not certain this is in Orzamar's best interests. Our castes have served us well, but it's possible this service could benefit our people. Very well, he may hold a prayer meeting as he requested, if not build a new temple to his god. At least the words would come from one of our own. Now, is there anything more? I will record this conversation in the memories. I hope I do not come to regret it.
Lord Harrowmont is a weak man, and he will be a weak. Legion of the Dead sighted battling Darkspawn near Orzammar. They have no order.
It'll be 2 years tomorrow. By all the holy sodding ancestors, how can you people just ignore that?
Bronca didn't go alone, Ogren. She took the whole house, everybody but you. So just get over to Tapster's and drown yourself already. You know as well as I do that's how this always ends.
You think I'm afraid of some cub warrior who's barely off the teat? Ha! I'll...
You lift a weapon or attack a single citizen in Orzammar, and you're stripped of your caste and exiled. Even you can't have forgotten that. Get out of here before I call a guardsman. Can you believe it? Ogren's barely even warrior caste anymore, and he just clomps in here like he's entitled. Well, he killed Lord Mino's youngest son in a duel to first blood. It was a huge scandal. Ogren should have been executed, but he'd won honors in the Deep Roads. Instead, they stripped him of all weapons and forbid him from engaging in fights within city limits. If he breaks the decree, he'll be exiled. If you see any guardsmen, tell them Ogren was at it again.
don't have pigeons here.
All right, all right.
I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you past the front lines without Adesh's permission. And I've heard nothing of any new patrols scheduled to leave today. I see you have his daughter's seal, so I will not stop you. But be careful. Just because the beasts have pulled back from Orzammar doesn't mean there are any fewer in the deep roads. Either we finally have the edge, which I doubt, or the beasts are building up numbers for the next attack.
The surface? But I thought the vermin never went up that far except
during blights. Ancestors save us if that's what's happening. Best of luck. Be careful out there.
Darkspawn. Kill them all.
I am prey for no creature.
Careful. I don't think that's the last of them.
Kill it quickly. I'll get on it.
Careful. I don't think that's the last of them. You pulled us from a tight spot, friend. You have my gratitude. I am Lord Anwar Dace. I heard nothing of another expedition. What brings you here so fortuitously? What are you talking about? I've dealt with Harrowmont many times, and he's always been forthright. I'm not ungrateful for your assistance, but I hope you have some evidence to back such an accusation. I don't understand. What could... These are the terms of a deal we made with Lord Harrowmont, but... the charlatan. He's promised the exact same land to Helmy. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I owe you twice now. My life and my house's fortune. We will certainly not support a man who would use my family like that. I will tell everyone I know what a wretched trick Harrowmont tried to play. I must return now. My men need healing, and I want to look into this. You wish to travel with us? And let us reach Orzammar before more beasts find our scent.
News of the hour. Lord Harrowmont entrenched in the past. How long can he ignore that Orzammar must change to survive?
Well, have you found Lady Dace and Lord Helmy? I'm asking you to deliver a message, not enter marriage negotiations. Now, are you going to... Don't bother...
Lord Balin is the voice of change and defense. Lord Harrowmont.
questions arise regarding Lord Balin's impending marriage to a capitalist commoner.
Go on, I'm out of the nug game. Got nothing to sell. Saraka, I'm back in the game, such as it is. I don't have much besides gratitude, but find a bunch more of these and I'll toss you whatever I found. I trust Vala, my nug right.
So, I've been hearing rumors that a certain wine merchant is falling behind on his payments.
I can't imagine what you mean. I pay my expenses.
What about the expenses your good friend Jarvia incurs when providing your protection? It's not easy ensuring nothing bad happens, that no one decides to just burn everything in your store.
My store! Please, I don't have much. Business isn't good. People are scared. Tell Jarvia I'll get her money.
Jarvia is not happy with your promises, old man. Now let's go inside and see what you've been holding back.
This is all I have right now. I could get more if I sell something.
Well, well. Looks like we have a visitor. Friend of yours?
Get out of here. This is private business. Please, don't get involved with this. You don't know what they're like.
Then allow me to make some introductions. These are dangerous times in Orzammar, stranger. Lucky us, the merciful Jarvia is offering protection from the chaos. You're wearing some fancy stuff there. Might make you a target. So if you want the Carta's guarantee of safety, it's yours for the reasonable price of 10 gold sovereigns. Or I can't say what might happen. Whoa, whoa! All right, you win. I'm not gonna die for 10 lousy sovereigns.
Ancestors, bless you for saving my poor store. I don't know how to express my gratitude. I'm showing you the lowest prices I can afford, I assure you.
Andraste teaches that patience is the child of wisdom, but I'm eager to hear if you've seen the Shaper. Oh, praise the Maker! You truly walk in the light, friend. I already found a convert among the merchants who offered his shop as a temporary chantry. It's just by the tapsters. Please, come to our first service.
Roll would be a pleasant diversion.
You're not welcome here, exile. I don't care if you're a Grey Warden. I liked your brother. If you need to speak to one of my patrons, do it quickly. But don't expect me to serve you. Who? He should be by the trash barrel. Easy to spot. Everyone gives him a wide berth.
Told him I don't... Lord Dennick Helmy, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. So I'm curious. You've been living on the surface, right? Does it function any worse than Orzammar for having abolished caste? But there are those like you who see this with concern, no? Well, I've taken the time to actually talk to the other castes. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the assembly. Orzammar are so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary. Oh, well, I'd ask for proof, or why you care, but frankly, I'm so tired of it I'm not even surprised anymore. I don't even want the land, but my house would kill me if I turned it down. Responsibilities, you know. Now I'll have to go through the whole process of rejecting the deal. And they'll both have to try something else. And I thought it was going to be a nice day. Should I? Didn't he accuse you of murdering your own brother? Why would you work for him now? If you can forgive him that, perhaps I should give him a second look. A king needs loyalty, and evidently he has yours.
What do you want? Oh, I heard about you. The exiled prince, coming back as a Grey Warden. Put his past behind him. Someone saw you talking to Vartag Gavorn, and now it's all over that you've been doing dirty errands for Balin. I figured you'd be the one, you know, who could help me find Branka. But I guess you're just like all the rest. You don't need a king to face a blight. You need a paragon. The Assembly elects them, but they're higher than the Assembly. They become nobles, but they're more than anyone born to a house. They're what every dwarf with a spine not made of soap dreams of being. City's only living paragon, and she's been lost in the deep roads for 2 years. 2 years, and no one's raised a bleeding army to go look for her. Why do you care, huh? You looking to uncover all her secrets? Is that what Balin wants? I know he's been poking around, trying to find things out about her, what she was looking for. Won't tell me spit, though. He wants it for himself, right? A little blessing from the Ancients' technology, and he's assured the throne. Is that it? You are looking for it. Of course, that's all anyone cares about. Well, sod off and sod your mother, too. I need a bleeding drink. You keep on your errands. Until your boss really commits to looking, you're getting nothing but smoke out of old Ogren.
Afternoon, stranger. You looking for a stool to share a brew?
Name's Naveen. I fight with Prince Balin's Expeditionary Field Unit.
Yourself? You don't say. Good folks, Wardens. I was in the Deep Roads when that one came by. What was his name? Dukan, Dunka... something like that. I met him, sure. Good man. Solid. He knows what we go through in the Deep Roads. Not many do. Not even the ones who live this close. You have to be on the front lines. Watch yourself. Orzammar politics are getting near as dangerous as battle.
In Dwarf and
You're the best wrangler I've ever seen.
Lord Balin is, bad, bad man!
Grey Warden arrives in Orzammar, most likely to pay respect to the rightful king, Prince Balin.
Press start.